But as far as casino, no. I mean, I was into conspiracies, all the stuff they kept regurgitating at us, aliens. That place called the weather place that HARP controlled the weather. That was the best I could do. And that's all that was really going on there. I mean, I couldn't. 33 years in the casino business. I mean, I can tie some stuff in now, but it's part of my process, part of my growing, and I'm going strong. I'm going head first, man. I mean, I remember what I said January 15th. I'm just going through the motions. Don't even care to be here anymore. Just going through the motions. So basically, waiting to die of old age. That's what I was doing. And then all this stuff happened. I got nothing else for the casinos. I really don't. I don't think.
Like, even if it may have been like 3D at the moment, like you have your entire life to see the lessons in it and build up off of it, and then go back in time and kind of make the best out of it. I'm seeing it being an integral part of like your future.
Casinos?
Not like so.
I don't want to go back. I'll do whatever.
The skill. So like the skills you have are honed and unique, and not everyone has, and the spiritual nature you have around you with them amplifying that in general is impressive. I'm also getting that you'll probably be integrating that into your future abilities of like psionics. Like if you were to combine your ability to influence luck and time and timing and going into outcomes and odds with your own special deck, as well as dice that you calculate and you program each side of the dice to where as you throw it, it's meaningful, having conditions and some type of thing where it has a massive benefit if you roll a good roll, or there's a consequence in like you facing your shadow if you roll a bad roll, and that completely shifts everything. And it being going into an ability where you can make big changes in the timeline just through the anchor and the belief in the placebo engine of you allowing yourself that permission to activate that greater ability through that means. Anyway,
I'm gonna watch that over 6 times.
Get your hand, make it sacred, and your dices, and see if you can apply some meaning behind each one, and see what is the best thing that you can put them towards your day, and then pulling the hand and then looking for and searching for the meaning in the day, and where you find it pop up. It's like playing cards, the same literal thing as the major arcana and minor for the minor arcana of tarot. It's like all the same, but it's all hidden, so it's interesting how it pops up and how you can use that in counting cards, because if like you're using your senses to greater understand like calling the cards, like being able to count cards makes you numb to believing that you have precognitive abilities. So if you start testing your precognitive abilities along with the counting cards, I think you would know that you have like a great determination of knowing future outcomes and probabilities. Anyway, no. But yeah, can you tell us a little bit about the talking to stars concept?
There were actually no words. The experience happened one week after the impalement. I went outside and 2 orbs were hovering over my head and shot all kinds of information in my head, like what to do, what not to do. When I started to do these things and not do these things, after about 2 weeks, I walked outside. Now, I was reading an Egyptian book on how the stars are souls. Specifically, that book at that time was in my hand. And no, I don't know where that book is, and I don't know where it came from. there was other roommates and stuff. I'm sure I just grabbed it, whatever.
That's interesting because like our star is named Soul.
So no, I it was hitting me while I'm reading that book, and plus I was looking at the flat Earth stuff. So when I'm reading, I thought, you know what? I bet they're all UFOs, and I went outside to have a cigarette, and I bet you're all UFOs, and the first one came at me right at my heart. And I tried to get out of the way. It was like a rubber band, and it stopped, and I finally gave up. I gave in. This is going to hit me. This is it. This is just amazing. This stuff's happening, and it just shot back like a rubber band, and then the whole sky kind of lit up. It was like you just bouncing lights all over the place, coming at me from all different directions, and some of them bouncing back and forth. Which was strange because I'm like, they were bouncing back and forth. Well, that could have been two different ones just putting their lights on, but I felt like, oh, that's the same one. And they were stars, and they were just all reaching out to me. And at the time I was into studying flat Earth. I was studying the soul. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on in my life, because this wasn't physical reality. It was not normal anymore. I've said that to people. I'm like, I'm not physical anymore. Did I die and end up, but whatever. I needed to figure it out, so I just kept looking at it. And that was one of my answers that I got from the stars. They showed me that the suns, for me, they're not planets they're not stars, they're not suns with planets revolving around them. I think they're intelligent beings. At least that's how I feel. I feel that the stars are intelligent beings, or there's an intelligent being behind them controlling them, but I think it's more that they are intelligent beings.
Interesting. Yeah. Stargazing societies and mystery schools also talk about like reaching out telepathically to the stars and communicating back information, being able to travel to their experiential bubble of reality, whatever it may be, and in light being able to compress itself infinitely and hold all that in its photons. And Solarians, like mystery schools, where they're able to travel their astral body to the star and travel through the star like a gate and go bouncing between stars like information highways, and leading to mystery school after mystery school and teaching in their astral experience. But yeah, so like that resonates as like probably initiation that you're getting called to. You've done before.
I think my sister said, yeah, you probably had a heart attack. Yeah, with all the lights coming at me, all that, I just shifted into another timeline. But that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've had a lot of things go on recently that are pulling me, helping me grow, and putting me on the right path. I mean, there's not so much procrastinating or oh, it's okay as long as it's a balance. Well, no, you know what? There's no balance here anymore. There's balance. That's not the word I'm looking for. Compromise. Thank you. That's what it was. It was, it's, oh, we compromise. And no, there's no more compromising. There's no more walking the line. It's this or that. I mean, believe me, I don't believe it's this or that. I think it's infinite. I think there's multiple choices for anything. What I mean to say specifically, I with me, I live in Colorado, so I smoke some pot, and I'm asking, should I stop smoking pot? And it's telling me, no, you're going to stop the alcohol. You're going to slow down on the alcohol, and you're going to stop. And I'm seeing where, that's going to happen a lot quicker than I expected. And the same with driving out here, all the way driving out here from across the country, just to do this interview, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Hey, 30-hour drive, just sit here and chat with Sean, believe me. Where was I? See, this is what I do with my videos. I'm like, I can pause. I don't remember where that saved me.
When drinking.
Yeah, it's I'm not going to label it. I'm not going to say what it is. I just know I enjoy it. But, and these are things that I'm learning now and growing now. And from driving out here, it was okay, so there wasn't any pot either, because it was illegal in a lot of states. And that I noticed, I don't miss it like I really thought I would have. I didn't need it to fall asleep. I didn't need it medicinally, like I say, I smoke. And, so I really feel like that's going to be floating away as well. I say going to be, I asked. But like I said, to me, it's not really affecting me the way it used to. So, but that's just in the last week. So we'll see.
What is your experience in telepathy? How would you describe it to people?
Telepathy? Reading minds?
Communication. Internal.
Internal communication. No thoughts.
How about like speaking to the stars? It would be the same.
Oh, really? Especially since it was coming towards my heart, which is something that was obvious, that was obviously pointed out to me, something I need to say. Things got to be thrown in my face obvious, so I'm just not going to get it. And I don't think it's that way anymore, because it's just baloney. I'm going to get it every time now, even the tiny things, because it's constant. I mean, I've been growing and learning through all this the past 4 years, and then I go to this Ketchum, Idaho conference, and where I met Sean, and it's just synchronicity after synchronicity, lesson after lesson, and I'd have to say, be careful what you ask for, because I've been asking, hey, keep the lessons coming and bring them hard, yeah. No, I won't be doing that anymore, because although I can't, I don't want to say that, because I learned a lot efficiently and quick because of, stupid lessons that I couldn't learn. But I learned them, and it was quick and efficient. Some things I'm not happy about the way I affected the people around me, but you know what? It's perfect, or it's going to be perfect, or it's a liaison to perfection. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's what's happening. I mean, I'll take my lessons, but I'm going to take them at a nice slow pace. One of the things I learned not to do is to ask for lessons. Just to come on, but give me everything. I want everything right now. Because what'll happen? My head will explode. I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And after I got through all that, I'm like, wow, look at everything I learned. How wonderful. No, I'll be taking this stuff slow. That's me. Think so.
So what is your take on in using the word quantum immortality? I thought that was an interesting way to describe that in your book.
Quantum immortality. That phrase is all over the internet. I heard someone say it, and I thought, wow, I like that, so I looked it up, and it is out there. It is a thing. It's been talked about. It's on sites. Quantum immortality. Well, look, with me figuring, the car was up like this, and then down here, nothing in between. I survived that, and I survived being impaled. How many other things did I survive that I don't even know about? I believe that as a species, human beings, or soul, whatever it is, I've always said we don't die. I never took it so literally. I always figure, you shed the body, but you go on, and, all the religious dogma. And that's how I always figured it, And, you take that saying, God created man in his own image. Is that how that goes? At least in some
before and after Mandela, who knows?
Yeah, you're right. That's what I mean.
We'll see.
Well, guess what? I've been thinking recently that this is what we look like. This is what it is. It's just, it becomes a different vibration the further we grow. And something that's been coming up recently is we are in heaven. We are already there. Okay, we're just peeling away the layers, to finally see what I.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Did you see that?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, there'll probably be
not
orbs.
that. No, there was. Now I'm wondering if there was a reflection from my light. It was not. There was a big light over there. You didn't see that?
I think I did.
Okay.
It was the same one you saw.
I'm like, where could it have come from? There's nothing here. Anyway, where were we?
Yeah, and that goes deep into the reflection. And that's like deep wisdom, that the version of us that we need to become, the earth that already has heaven, that people feel like they have to bring in. It's already underneath it all. It's like the fruit of life. It has the shell around it that's like needs to be peeled off, or the peel, and it's already deep within us, that the big, greatest, best version of us, and it's like getting rid of the illusion, the Maya, the thing that muddies the senses, that gets the attention, and letting that light of truth shine through of what's deep within it, and that whole process of unveiling it.
Yeah. Like that. It's something that came from Ketchum. A lot came from Ketchum. I actually watched myself shift. I didn't watch it. It was brought to my attention, and I went, holy cow. You see a Mandela Effect, and if you're real close to it, you might not notice. I'm kind of close to myself and noticed the shift. I mean, that was, I'm like, whoa, I shifted.
Quantum Effect.
Somebody on video caught me shifting on the screen. They said I was wearing different clothes. I had a cigarette in my hand, and I was kind of looking at him like that while we were talking. And I can't find that picture anywhere. I've looked for it, and he's sure, because other people have seen it too. Saw it too. But when it happened on my screen, it didn't happen. The screen froze, and then it went to whatever he was talking about. When they were watching it, it showed a different picture of me. And yeah, so everybody's like, something happened there, something went on. They're like, Susso's a shifty guy. Susso shifty.
Yeah, it's all these things shifting around you. I'm imagining this giant puzzle box thing that like shifts every once in a while. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Egyptian Gods. There's like a pyramid in there that like shifts all around, and it like keeps people out by constantly shifting.
No, I watch a lot of science fiction, but I stopped. It was like, oh, don't watch TV, but I watch movies galore. So what was the point? It's the same thing, and I kind of knew it. So, but I haven't seen that one, no.
Yeah, and that like brings wisdom that reflects in the individual. People going down the rabbit holes in those. What is your take and wisdom that you've gained? Because I feel like everyone can kind of add to this and make it better and better for the equation of future in quantum jumping. The concept of being able to take the reins on the Mandela concept for your own reality that also can be shared, where you shift yourself into a timeline or reality where things are different, maybe even your own body is different or whatever.
So you're asking, can we do this ourselves?
I know we can, but I would love to know your take on it. And as well, like, I feel like it's an equation that can be made better and better and have like new layers of truth added onto it, or old, because it's always been there.
Well, I signed the book off as, is it in here? Is it somebody's? It is. Focus and shift. That's what I say. Focus and shift when I sign it off to somebody. And that's how I felt at the time. I felt that it was a formula. Because I was practicing with it. That's what I was doing for 2.5, 3 years, chasing Mandela effects and trying to create my reality. And I succeeded and I failed. Most of it was failures, but I realized seeing how that's not true. But I mean, things, I remember, you know, when I was going with my heart, that this is something I really desire, this is something I really desire, and a week later it happened. And 2 years later, it went away. So, why? Because part of my creation was to run a business, did not have to be the bar I was in, run the business, be the manager, sustain it. I mean, that was it. Run it properly and sustain it. That was part of the equation. Well, the sustaining part fell through. So, you know, why? It didn't matter. Well, I mean, one thing I did ask is, hey, you know what, I would like less responsibility without losing any money. And that happened. Not only did that happen, I got less responsibility and was making more money. But I didn't have that title anymore, the position. I was like, well, it's, you know, but I'm okay. Things are great. This is what I asked for. So, you know, why, you know, I was like, why fight it? That's where I was then. But I realized, you know, I got to be careful of what I'm saying I'm desiring. I need to be more specific. This is back then, 17. I think we're in 17 now. 17, late 17, early 18. And I had to be careful. I had to be careful what I was thinking about, focusing on. I would just make up crap in my head and it would be happening. I had to control the thoughts first thing in the morning, because constantly the thoughts first thing in the morning were just always, I am going to give that guy a piece of my mind. I can't believe he did that. I'm going to knock him out. I would never do that stuff. I would never act that way, but that's what was going on. I had to wait till I talked to him. Why did he take my guitar out of the bar? He's got no right to take my guitar out of the bar. Well, he's put new strings on it. He could have asked me. He has no right to take my, sorry, distracted. My book's distracted me. It's Mandela Effecting. So, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to see more content like this, please show your love and subscribe to this channel for more content. Click that like button and share this video. The more people I see watching, the more I know what content people like. The more motivation I have to film and create. Mostly I'm doing this by myself, so the extra little push will definitely get me into action. And blast that notification bell to get the latest alerts on release. Comment your questions and possible future show ideas, what you think, below. I may end up answering those questions in the next show. Links are in the description if you want to contact me for more info, possible consultations, distant healing, massage, DNA programming, past life readings, and much, much more, as well as the services demonstrated in this video. Go to the psionicleague.com if you are interested in joining the league. Love you all so very much. Thank you for all your support.